Managing a business or a fleet right now, there is this very specific silent sound you probably hear every month. It's the petrol price ticking up, right? Quietly eating your profit margins alive.
Yeah, it's like a slow leak that you really only notice when you finally check the balance sheet at the end of the month.
Exactly. So, welcome to today's deep dive. We are looking at sources from DFSK Goodwood down in Cape Town, and they are pitching a potential way to plug that leak.
Right, by converting their commercial workhorses, specifically the C35 panel van and the K01S backy.
Which is their light pickup truck, for those who don't know.
But-
And the idea is to convert them to run on liquid petroleum gas, or LPG.
So the real question we have to answer today is whether converting a fleet to autogas is a legitimate business hack to slash costs, or if it's just going to be, a massive logistical headache for the drivers.
Well, the core appeal here is obviously financial. I mean, the source states LPG is consistently, 30 to 50% cheaper per liter than standard petrol?
Yeah, 30 to 50%.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your mileage, that gives you a payback period of roughly 6 to 18 months for the conversion.
Wow. Okay.
Right. And after that, it's just pure compound savings.
But I mean, as a business owner, I don't just care about the spreadsheet. I care about my drivers getting stranded. Like, if this thing runs entirely on gas, what happens when the tank hits zero in gridlock on a major highway like the N1?
Well, that's the thing. They aren't losing their petrol tank.
Oh, they aren't.
No, these vehicles end up with two distinct energy sources. They still have the standard 40 to 55-liter petrol tank. In fact, the engine actually always starts on petrol.
Wait, if the whole point is to save money, why use petrol at all?
Because LPG needs heat to turn from a liquid into a combustible gas.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so the engine uses petrol just long enough to warm up the system. And then, once it reaches the right operating temperature, it seamlessly switches over to vaporized LPG.
Oh, I see. It kind of reminds me of a laptop. Like when it's plugged into the wall, it runs on AC power. But the second you yank the cord out, it switches over to battery power, and you don't even lose your work.
Exactly. And the reverse happens when the gas runs out. The system simply switches back to petrol. There is no stalling or downtime.
The driver just keeps going.
The driver literally just keeps driving. So instead of range anxiety, you're actually increasing the total usable range because you have two full fuel sources on board.
All right, I get that. But let's talk about the physical reality of adding a massive secondary fuel tank to a delivery van. I mean, these are tools, right? You need room for the actual deliveries.
Right, space is money.
Exactly. You can't just throw a giant gas cylinder in the back and expect to operate normally.
Well, DFSK actually engineered around that for space-sensitive urban routes. They use a 48-liter donut tank that fits neatly underneath the vehicle.
A donut tank.
Yeah, it goes right where the spare wheel usually sits.
Okay, but which means I now have a loose, filthy spare tire rolling around the cargo area, crushing my deliveries.
Not quite, no. The spare is actually securely mounted against the inside wall of the load area, so it's completely out of the way.
Oh, that makes sense.
And if you run long-haul routes, say up a major stretch like the N7 highway, you can opt for a larger 90-liter cylinder.
Okay, but doesn't that eat into the weight capacity?
Actually, even with that, the payload numbers stay incredibly strong. You get up to 800 kilograms for the C35 van and almost a full ton for the K01S pickup.
Okay, so you've addressed the space issue, but what about the giant elephant in the room? By putting a 90-liter gas cylinder in the back of a commercial vehicle, haven't we essentially built a mobile bomb?
That is a very common fear.
I mean, what happens when a driver inevitably gets rear-ended?
Right, but you have to remember, these aren't DIY backyard jobs. These systems are highly regulated and entirely sealed.
Okay.
They use inertia switches that instantly detect the sudden G-force of a crash and immediately seal the valves, completely stopping the gas flow.
Oh, wow, that's... Well,
Plus, the tanks are physically incapable of being filled past 80% capacity.
why 80%?
That built-in buffer safely allows for the gas to expand under pressure or, in extreme heat.
That makes a lot of sense. But what does this do to the vehicle's actual lifespan? Usually the moment you modify an engine, the manufacturer just voids your warranty.
You'd think so, but because these are officially DFSK-approved conversions, the 5-year, 100,000-kilometer warranty stays fully intact.
Wait, really? The whole warranty?
The whole thing.
Right.
In fact, because LPG burns so much cleaner than petrol, there is significantly less carbon buildup in the engine.
So it's actually better for the van.
Exactly. It actually extends the life of the internal components.
So, shifting a commercial fleet to dual fuel isn't just about buying a new set of vans. I mean, it's about plugging a financial leak and controlling your operating costs without sacrificing cargo space or safety.
Yeah, and creating a buffer against unpredictable fuel markets.
Which leaves you, the listener, with something pretty provocative to chew on. As the whole world pushes aggressively toward fully electric fleets and massive charging infrastructure, could the smartest, most resilient business tool right now actually be a simple non-turbo engine with dual fuel redundancy?
It really completely removes your dependency on just one single energy source.
Definitely something to think about next time you're at the pumps.